are doing nothing.
We are not doing nothing.
We're destroying.
4 high-rated military targets?
And this is good?
Of course it's not good. There is no good. It's what there is. It's how you behave if you're the most powerful nation in the world. It's proportional, it's reasonable, it's responsible, it's merciful, it's not nothing. 4 high-rated military targets.
Which they'll rebuild again in 6 months.
Then we'll blow them up again in 6 months. We're getting really good at it. It's what our fathers taught us.
Why didn't you say so? Oh, man, here we go. When I think of all the work you put in to get me to run, when I think of all the work you did to get me elected, I could pummel your ass with a baseball bat. CJ, I don't mind the cost of this wolves-only highway. It's a segregation. The ACLU is going to file a petition on behalf of some reindeer, and then we're all screwed. Sam Seaborn had a guy who spotted a UFO today, am I right? Sam laughed him out of his office, but you've been thinking about it ever since. But you can rest assured, Sam, it was not a spaceship from another planet, just another time. A long since abandoned Soviet satellite. One of its booster rockets didn't fire and it couldn't escape Earth's orbit. A sad reminder of a time when 2 powerful nations challenged each other and then boldly raced into outer space. What will be the next thing that challenges us, Toby? That makes us go farther and work harder? You know that when smallpox was eradicated, it was considered the single greatest humanitarian achievement of this century. Surely we can do it again, as we did in a time when our eyes looked towards the heavens. And with outstretched fingers, we touch the face of God. Here's to absent friends. And the ones that are here now.
Cheers. Cheers.
Oh, Roger, if anything happened, you know what to do, right?
I honestly hadn't thought about it, sir.
First thing always is national security. Get your commanders together. Appoint joint chiefs, appoint a chairman, take us to DEFCON 4. Have the governor send emergency delegates to Washington. The Assistant Attorney General is going to be the acting agent. If he tells you he wants to bring out the National Guard, do what he tells you. You got a best friend?
Yes, sir.
Is he smarter than you?
Yes, sir.
Would you trust him with your life?
Yes, sir.
That's your chief of staff. I just want to mention that at several points during the evening, I was referred to as both a liberal and a populist, and the fellow fourth from the back called me a socialist, which was nice. I hadn't heard that for a while. Actually, I'm an economics professor. My great-grandfather's great-grandfather was Dr. Josiah Bartlet, who was the New Hampshire delegate representative to the Second Continental Congress, the one that sat in session in Philadelphia in the summer of 1776 and announced to the world that we were no longer subjects of King George III, but rather a self-governing people. We hold these truths to be self-evident, they said, that all men are created equal. Strange as it may seem, that was the first time in history that anyone had ever bothered to write that down. Decisions are made by those who show up. Class dismissed. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. And God bless America.
The Bible does.
Yes, it does. Leviticus.
18:22.
Chapter and verse. I wanted to ask you a couple of questions while I had you here. I'm interested in selling my youngest daughter into slavery, as sanctioned in Exodus 21:7. She's a Georgetown sophomore, speaks fluent Italian, always cleared the table when it was her turn. What would a good price for her be? While thinking about that, can I ask another? My chief of staff, Leo McGarry, insists on working on the Sabbath. Exodus 35:2 clearly says he should be put to death. Am I morally obligated to kill him myself, or is it okay to call the police? Here's one that's really important, because we've got a lot of sports fans in this town. Touching the skin of a dead pig makes one unclean, Leviticus 11:7. If they promise to wear gloves, can the Washington Redskins still play football? Can Notre Dame? Can West Point? Does the whole town really have to be together to stone my brother John for planting different crops side by side? Can I burn my mother in a small family gathering for wearing garments made from two different threads? Think about those questions, would you? One last thing. While you may be mistaking this for your monthly meeting of the ignorant tight-ass club, in this building, when the president stands, nobody sits. Toby,
Yes, Mr. President.
that's how I beat him. I appreciate that, thanks.
Toby meant in the polls.
I know what he meant.
So, Hoynes will be in a fight with Wiley for a strong second-place finish in New Hampshire. Meantime, we're going to be in South Carolina, and we're going to be the only ones there.
We're not going to beat Hoynes in South Carolina.
We don't have to beat Hoynes in South Carolina.
We just have to beat Wiley.
Wiley's going to drop out after South Carolina.
If he doesn't finish higher than third,
Are we going to get his endorsement?
we're going to get his money, that's for sure.
It's for sure.
Josh thinks it is.
Which one is Josh?
I am.
Okay.
So, we finish second in South Carolina. We pick up some steam, some endorsements, mostly some money going into South Dakota, Vermont, Maine.
Well, we come away with a split, maybe better, and now the prohibitive nominee for the Democratic nomination has lost 3 of the first 7
Half
contests,
the actual primaries.
leading into Super Tuesday.
Hoynes will win the South. We'll take the North and the Pacific Northwest. This race will be decided a week later in Illinois.
Illinois is going to be high noon.
Sam, if we win in Illinois, do we have a shot at California and New York?
If we win in Illinois, we're going to run the table.
Well, that's it then. And we've saved people the trouble of voting. What's next?
Our point is that it's...
I understood the point. We're going to South Carolina to set up Illinois. When I ask what's next, it means I'm ready to move on to other things. So, what's next?
We're done.
Fantastic. This is one of those situations I could give a damn what the people think. The complexities of a global arms treaty, the technological, military, the diplomatic nuance, it's staggering, Toby. 82% of the people can't possibly be expected to reach an informed opinion. You want to call a session anyway?
No. No. If we lose, and we will, we cut off.
Yeah. Anything else?
No, sir. Thank you, Mr. President.
You know, we forget sometimes. In all the talk about democracy, we forget it's not a democracy, it's a republic. People don't make the decisions, they choose the people who make the decisions. Could they do a better job choosing? Yeah. When you consider the alternatives. Anyway, Abby's in New Hampshire. You want to come up for a cigar? The day's over, Toby. We'll live to fight another one. Come on up, I'll beat your ass at chess.
You baiting me, Mr. President?
Yes?
Okay.